Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Mega Man 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, which came out shortly after the original Mega Man, which I played not too long ago. Plot for this one is pretty simple. Dr. Wily has created 8 new Robot Masters to counter Mega Man after his crushing defeat in the first game, and now we gotta stop him from taking over the world again. And of course we have to go after those 8 Robot Masters and destroy them. We have 2 difficulties to choose from, normal and difficult. Normal is kind of an easy mode, difficult is the original Japanese difficulty. I'm going to choose difficult, because that's how we're gonna roll. Now, you don't go straight into the game immediately. Instead, you can choose to start a new game, or you can actually put in the password. I will explain the passwords later on in the video, but for now, let's go ahead and start a new game. So we have 8 new Robot Masters to choose from. Bubble Man, Air Man, Quick Man, Heat Man, Wood Man, Metal Man, Flash Man, and Crash Man. Dr. Wily's stage is pretty much mentioned this time. I mean, we are going after him. It is a sequel to the first game, but we can't access that until we've beaten all of the Robot Masters. As always, there is usually a specific way or some specific ways of going through the game prior to making it to Dr. Wily's castle. And the 2 easiest Robot Masters to beat with the Proto Buster, because we don't have the Mega Buster until 4. The easiest 2 Robot Masters to beat with the Arm Cannon, let's just call it that, are Bubble Man and Metal Man. I'm going to be covering those 2 in this video, and I'm going to start with Bubble Man. And we have interesting background here. Nice little waterfall. Everything is basically the same as it was in the first game. You don't have a score, but you press A to jump, you press B to shoot, left and right moves you around. Pause lets you choose your special weapons. You have that life bar in the upper left-hand corner. That's pretty much all you need to know. Now to take on this frog. As long as the 3 little frogs that these things spit out are on screen, at least one of them, the big frog won't be able to spit out any more of the little tiny frogs, which is awesome. Also, we need to hurry amongst these platforms, otherwise we're going to go down with them. Now it's time to go down here. Now these guys go down a specific way. Shoot them once to get rid of the shell, then shoot him a couple times, usually 1 or 2 times, to get rid of the enemy underneath them for good. But we're not going to get much in the way of power from these guys, so let's just go down into the water. Now, unlike the first game, you actually have buoyancy. I'm actually going down a little slower than usual. And if I hold the jump button down, I can go super high. The game takes advantage of that by placing spikes everywhere on the ceiling, like there. You're gonna see that a lot in the underwater section of Bubble Man stage. Anyway, we need to fight off some shrimp whenever we can, and we need to shoot that blinking light there on that little anglerfish in order to destroy it. And when the little angler light thing disappears, once you had enough of it on screen, it will be destroyed. Oh, I'm already full on health. Now here you want to be careful with your jumps. And where you go when you descend, because just like last time, spikes are instant death. Probably the 2 most notorious ways, actually the 2 only ways you can die here, nice, an extra life, are either steering yourself into the spikes, which is far more likely, or accidentally jumping too high and hitting your head on the spikes, which is not enjoyable. Want to be very careful here. There we go. Also want to be careful for the low overhead here. We're going to have to get pretty close to the anglerfish here if we want to fight it off. Strangely, fighting the second one here is easier than fighting off the first one because we're forced to stand closer to it. Just watch out for those shrimp that come out. Ooh. I am lucking out with the lives. This never happened in the practice run. At least you don't have to worry about getting those stupid point icons anymore, now that the score is gone. So you have a much better chance of replenishing health and ammunition whenever necessary. And we're finally out of the water. But now we gotta deal with crabs. Just be careful, watch the skies. You should be good, I think. And, yeah, you want to be careful in case any of these things appear near a pit. And once you get close to the end of the second to last platform, you won't have to deal with the crabs anymore. And now, when we enter the boss area, we just have this little short entry room now. We don't have to farm for energy or anything at the expense of accidentally losing life or weapons energy. So you better be prepared by the time you reach the boss door. And now it's time to face Bubble Man. Avoid the bubbles he shoots out, try not to jump too high. He'll try to shoot at you with those little harpoons there. I guess that's what they are. And he's basically the easiest to beat with the arm cannon because of his very short invincibility time. I know he has a weakness, but you're better off using the arm cannon on him anyway, because his attacks don't do a lot of damage. You'll be avoiding the bubbles he shoots out more often than not. Very easy boss fight. And for beating Bubble Man, we get Bubble Lead. Little lead bubble that travels across the ground and hits anything that touches it. Now, we could go to the stage select, but I do want to show off the password. Let's go ahead and press start on password, and we'll get a password. Be sure to copy these down whenever you get one, because you're going to be placing these red dots on this 5x5 grid. You need to remember where the red dots are and write down where they are. So, for this password, you put a red dot on A1, B5, C4, D1, D2, D5, E1, E2, and E4. That's how you read it. And with that, let's go back to the stage select screen. Might as well go ahead and try out Metal Man, why not? I'm feeling rather lucky right now, especially with the 2 extra lives that I just so happened to get. Another pretty easy stage to get through when you know what to do, and another easy robot master to fight off when you know what to do. And there's this blue can with an E on it. Well, turns out it's an energy can. You can carry up to 4, and whenever you're low on health, you can just pause the game. I can't speak to save my life. Select an energy can, and you'll automatically refill it back to 4. Again, 4. Full. You can carry up to 4 energy cans, and they're very useful against bosses. So, more than likely, you'll be using those whenever you run low on energy against a boss. Aside from the conveyor belts that are very, very obvious, you can tell from the arrows and where they're pointing, the little triangles there, where they're going. You also have these crushers too. You do not want to run into these. These will do quite a bit of damage. I mean, you obviously don't want to be crushed from underneath, but you also don't want to accidentally run into the sides of them either. And now we got a bunch of drills. There will be certain sections in the game where you will see a whole ton of drills, and if you know what you're doing, and you're patient, and you don't get hit all of a sudden, you can actually farm weapon and health energy from these drills. And as you can see, I took quite a bit of damage there. And we could go up there if we had one of the 3 items. I'll mention those in a future video, so we could get that one up, but sadly, you can't go back to a stage once you've completed it this time around. Unlike Mega Man 1, where you could. But that was only because of the magnet beam in that game. So that one-up is lost to us forever because we came in here too early. Now, for these guys running on the gears, you want to shoot the gears. When you shoot down the gears, you can also shoot down the guy when he comes down. And we get to see these little block worms. You want to shoot the part with the face, obviously. On difficult, they do that. They actually send their little pieces of themselves at you. on the first hit, and then they'll go down for a second one. If you're playing on normal, they go down in one hit no matter what. Also, I did not expect that to happen. Be very careful on this jump, because 1, you might accidentally fall into the pit, and 2, you might get hit by one of these things. Yes, it's that enemy that is low to the ground, can't be hit with a buster, and requires a certain special weapon to kill it. We don't have that special weapon yet. And I do have the energy can. I need to remember that I have that, because we're now going to face Metal Man. Metal Man is pretty simple. He only shoots those little metal blades at you when you fire at him. He jumps either low or little or high. And if you get too close to him, he just jumps to the other side of the room. Every so often, the room will flash, and the arrows on the side of the conveyor belt will switch direction. He does have a weakness, by the way, but we don't have it. But either way, as long as we know what we're doing here. And trying to concentrate a little bit here. Trying not to die. If I could just get this thing to go left and not accidentally do that, I can just follow the flow of the conveyor belt, so to speak. I can just let the thing just push me back, and it makes it easier to avoid some of the metal blades that he throws at me. This is obviously going to be a no-death run. I never promised that it would be. If you can somehow beat this game without dying, you're a better man than I am. Obviously. Now waiting for that conveyor belt to go in the other direction. It's kind of fun to trick him into falling right into your Mega Buster shots. I mean arm cannon. Mega Buster again isn't until 4. And there we go. Bit of a struggle there, but we got it. By the way, if you die and beat a Robot Master at the same time, you still get credit for the victory. You still go to this screen where you get Metal Blade, or whatever weapon you got. Whatever weapon the boss gives you that you are currently fighting. So in case you were wondering about that, yeah, you and the Robot Master die at the same time, you are the one who wins. You get the special weapon, you get to continue on. And I don't think you lose a life either. I know it happened to me one time on Anniversary Collection when I played Mega Man 2 on that, and it was pretty nice to see. Even had a friend watching too, which was really awesome. I might as well go ahead and show the password in case you want to play along. That's the password right there. I'm going to leave it on there for a few seconds. That way you can pause it and then write it down if you want. Remember, you want to write down where the red dots are. And then there, you'll know where to put the red dots. Oh, and the letters there on to the right of the password, that shows what special weapons you've gotten. So we've already got the arm cannon, we've got Bubble Lead, and we've got Metal Blade. That's what the P, B, and M stand for, respectively. So let's go ahead and go to the stage select and call it a video. Next time on Let's Play Mega Man 2, we take on Airman and Crashman. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!